Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Artexrtic, and today we're going to be talking about crystals. Or is it crystals or diamonds? I think it's crystals. Anyway, so with that said, I just want to let you guys know that what you're seeing here is from my Patreon, Gumroad, and all that stuff. Just to let you guys know as well, most of the stuff is cut out because I had to sped it up and cut things out for more exclusive students who want the exclusive inside info of my work here. But this is something just to get people on the ball to know what I'm doing here, so you have an idea. But if you want more in-depth understanding from every step I take to this point, it's in there. So link in the description if you want it. So with that said, let's start with the video. Alright, so let's get right into it. So when it comes to making crystals, this is more on focus on planes and geometric shapes, most likely than so. So you have to keep that in mind when doing something like this, okay? You will need 4 different colors of the same color, like monochrome colors, and 1 off color for more of a bounce light type situation. That's where that green is, and the white will be more of for like lighting and stuff like that, and I'll explain it a little bit later. But anyway, so here we make a diamond or a crystal like structure, or ice, I will say, like an ice-ish like structure. So it makes it much easier to this can fall under either crystal or ice. It doesn't really matter. I would say more for ice, if anything. Because it makes it easier to understand with the colors. So with this, I'm making the understanding of the planes come through by understanding where my light source is coming from, and I keep color switching between, or swatching between the colors, more from darker to mid-tone to a more lighter color. But I have to be cognizant that it's not supposed to blend perfectly. It's supposed to be like perfectly, I'll say hard-edged all the time. So I used a hard edge brush for most of this. I didn't use any other crazy texture brushes other than a hard edge brush, so you don't have to worry. But what makes this fun is that you're mostly sculpting your ice here to make sure everything stays put. Now, I've kind of figured out the more you go shadows, the more it seems like you're going down inside the object, giving it that depth, like levels within levels. So when you're using your light source, make sure that the light source is only coming through when there's a surface plane that is showing at top. Anything at bottom is usually in shadow. I don't think there's a situation where it's going to be at top, it's going to be in shadow, unless the light is not hitting that particular surface. Now, there is some bounce light I put in here. I will put that in here in a bit, but the focus on this is mainly on how to sculpt. You're sculpting your way by using light and shadow. This is basically what it is. I would say it looks a little bit flat at the far edge here, and I think I do rectify this because this is a while since I made this video, so I can't remember everything I did in this video, but I do as I'm watching. So I put the highlights at the edges to give that more realistic look, or at least that more convincing look. I would use the light, or at least the white, a little more less loosely. I wouldn't use them so frequently because it'll look kind of strange and try-hard-ish, quote unquote. And then I start using some soft brushes into the edges for a 3D bounce light highlight type scenario. So it makes it much easier for it to seem much less flat, less flat than it was before. I'll still say in the far off right corner seems still a little bit off. I would have put a little bit more nudging into the 3D-ness of the ice if I could. I think I could have done a lot better per se, but as I'm keep going, it's more of a tug and pull situation when it comes to this type of subject. But you have to be cognizant, like I said, with where your light is coming from and where your shadow is, following alongside with the base color. Now I put some green in there, per se, to give it more of a because remember, because ice is just as reflectant because of the light source, so I put some light under it by using, I think, if I remember right, an overlay. It might say in the corner somewhere in my boxes over there in my layers. I think it was the overlay. I don't think it was multiply. No, I don't think so. But when I put this in here, I try to do it as loosely as possible, because if you do it too much, it's gonna come off, like I said, quote unquote try hardish, and it's not gonna look real. It's gonna look like you're trying too hard. But it did help give it more of a 3D atmosphere with the bounce light, because I didn't really put anything around it. I should have did that, but I don't think I did, if I remember right. But I did put some high highlights in there, but don't put too much, because it looks like it's trying to be like a little firework and it looks a little weird. So I would put it in like places where it needs to be. Now this is something I learned from a fellow YouTuber. I can't remember his name right now, but I'll put his video in the descriptions where I learned this technique from. He used like a mist to give the ice more of a ice like atmospheric, like it's cold, like this is like mystical ice type stuff from like a game you will probably see in like World of Warcraft, or probably Final Fantasy, or any type of game you can probably think of that's fantasy based, that's floating with ice, or probably a diamond or anything like that to the extent. So I added some extra like multiplies, and then I turned down the opacity as best as I could, but I didn't want to overshadow everything, so I tried to loosen it as best as I could by keeping it 100%. Now I'm going to teach you guys those shards as well. I also learned from that other YouTuber as well. I will put his channel into the description here on YouTube, because I think he's just as talented and also has a lot more information than I do, because I had to wing this one. But it was really cool when I learned it from him, so it was really awesome. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this helped you guys out there. Please tell me if this was helpful at all. If it wasn't, please let me know. I can try some other new techniques. I'll try to keep them as short as possible, or probably longer. I don't know. We'll see. So, if you have any questions, please leave your questions at the bottom. If I missed out something, or something's confusing or anything like that, I'll try to answer as best I could. Or if you rather hold off and come to my streams, you can ask your questions if you like. But I suggest be a subscriber, so it'll be a lot more easier for me to teach my students in that sense. And all that great stuff. So if you want the exclusive version of this, like I said before at the beginning of the video, there's a lot of things that was cut out in this video, believe it or not, and shortened really fast. So if you want to get this video, or if you want to get the longer version or the more in-depth version of this video, go to my Gumroad, or go to my Patreon, or go to my more exclusive places, and you can get that there. And I would appreciate that it supports me and also helps you guys out. And if there's still something else about the video that was confusing, you didn't understand, just come around and say hi. I'll probably be able to explain what I did and maybe clarify some things for you. So with that said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Keep it plus ultra and have a nice day. There, guys. Bye-bye.